At this time of year, we pause to thank every man and woman who gave their life for our country's freedom during some of the most horrific times in history. They made sacrifices that are difficult to even imagine. When people talk about bravery in Medicine Hat, one name in particular comes up: Private James Peter Robertson. Robertson was born in Albion Mines, Nova Scotia, and moved to Medicine Hat with his parents when he was just a teenager. He worked as an engineer with the Canadian Pacific Railway.
He was called Singing Pete by the members of the CPR, and wherever he went, even when he was in the forces overseas, he did a lot of singing and whistling.
Robertson was transferred to Lethbridge and then Fort Macleod with the CPR, where he eventually joined the Canadian military with the 3rd CMRs. At the age of 34, Robertson found himself in Belgium, fighting a battle that would eventually put his name in the history books.
On the 6th of November, 1917, at Passchendaele, Belgium, when his platoon was held up by a machine gun, Private Robertson rushed the gun, killed four of the crew, and then turned the gun on the remainder. After inflicting more casualties and carrying the captured gun, he led his platoon to the final position, got the gun into action, firing on the retreating enemy. During the consolidation of his use of the machine gun kept down the enemy's sniper fire. Later, when two of the snipers on his own side were wounded, he went out and carried one of them in under heavy fire, but he was killed by a shell just as he returned with the second man.
Robertson was awarded the Victoria Cross for his actions, but Lozo says she doesn't believe he ever thought about the spotlight while on the battlefield.
He was a very brave man, and I don't think he thought about valor or anything like that. He thought of the condition that he had to get in there and do his job, and he was very good at it and never stopped to worry about anything or think about it.
Back here in Canada, Robertson's family received the heart-wrenching news by letter.
November the 9th, 1917. Dear Mrs. Robertson, I'm very sorry to tell you that Pete was killed on November the 6th. He was instantly killed by the explosion of a big shell that never knew the cause of his death. He did not leave any message or word, but it will be a relief for you to know that he did not suffer any pain as he was killed instantly. I was with him through all the attack, which was successful, and was beside him when he was killed at our objective. We all lose Pete, a good pal and friend, as he was very popular with both officers and men. In fact, he refused promotion to be with the boys as plain Pete instead of being an NCO. He was a good soldier at the time he was killed and did his duty well and thoroughly before he was killed. I helped to bury his body where he fell, and his personal effects are being sent to you. On behalf of his chums and friends, I extend to you our deepest sympathy in your loss and bereavement, and share with you in both. Yours sincerely, Henry Wilson.
To help honor Robertson and what he did in the war, several places have been named after him. Those include the local branch of the Royal Canadian Legion, a park, a street, a mountain in northern Alberta, and most recently, an icebreaker. With these memorials, we are reminded year-round of the bravery so many Canadians have shown during times of turmoil, whether that be a century ago or in battles happening right now. For Go Southern Alberta, I'm Christy Peck.